One of the things to really remember is that diabetes is a real soul sucker of a condition a lot of the time, that sometimes you put in so much work and you still don't get the results that you hoped or expected to get. If you have had a bad day with the blood glucose, where for whatever reason what you've been doing hasn't been working, I see this all the time, that they criticize themselves because their blood glucose is a 12 or a 14, or their time in range is not the percentage that they want it to be at. Those are outcomes, and we can't control outcomes. We know there's more than 40 factors that affect blood glucose, and so it's thinking about those behaviors, and the behaviors that we can control, and the behaviors and the things that impact blood glucose that we can't control. So can you modify things like thinking about the food that you're eating? Yes. Can you think about making sure you're always changing your insulin needles? Yes. You're checking for lumps? Yes. If all of those behaviors that we know are involved with diabetes management are being ticked off, that will always give us the better numbers. So it's thinking about the behavior, and it's something really important to emphasize, that numbers are an outcome of behavior. Yes, they tell us what's going on to a degree, but until we start drilling into that behavior and what a person with diabetes is doing, they will only be a part of a very big puzzle. Really basic things like self-compassion are so important when you're living with any long-term condition, but diabetes in particular. So thinking about, well, if this was a friend going through this, if I was here with someone else who was really struggling, what would I say to them? How would I act around them? So taking that time to be kind to yourself, to soothe yourself, and to be able to say, okay, today's been rubbish, and it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel upset, we'll start again tomorrow. To be able to pick yourself up from the floor and to be kind to yourself is so important. Being in a group with other people with diabetes who get it is incredibly important. And that has a really protective effect on both how you feel and your social interactions, but also your mental health. Our brains enjoy being in groups. We are social creatures. For people who are experiencing burnout, I think the really useful things to think about is, when I work with people with burnout, so often people are stuck in this cycle of perfectionism and guilt that then leads to burnout. So although it feels a bit counterintuitive, sometimes the best thing to do is to almost start again from scratch, because a lot of the time people are putting huge pressure on themselves to be completely perfect all of the time, which we know is not possible. You are a human with a life that is stressful and a brain that is tricky a lot of the time. So trying to take things step by step. So working out what's one thing that you can do today, what's one step that you can take in the right direction, and getting stable at just that one step, and then building up and then building up. So slowing down, trying to take some of the pressure off, and talk to the people around you. It's so important. So whether that's online, whether that's in person, reaching out and asking for the support that you need is a really fundamental aspect of looking after yourself when you live with diabetes.